Hello. Now, somebody asked me the other day if I could talk about this subject, and I really think it's a good one. English is made up of two major languages, and both of them are dead. That's Anglo-Saxon and Latin. Anglo-Saxon will give us all those, what we might call Anglo-Saxon words, the ones which we really shouldn't use in public. They're often very short. They're perfect when we drop a brick on our foot. But Latin gives us all the grammar, it gives us all the context, it gives us all the, well, it's one of the most beautiful and poetic introductions to form that I can think of. Latin gives us the different rules. Latin gives us the reason why we spell things in an odd way. It gives us those plurals. Latin answers the question when we study Latin, where do words come from? Why do they behave as they do? So for children to learn Latin, this is an amazing way of dealing with those questions which are constantly coming. Why? How? And you know, Latin forms the bedrock of European language. It may not exist today as a working language in everyday life, but it's been transformed into Italian, Spanish, French, and of course into English. It's the source of our language. Now, I've got about 5 points. So that's point one. Point two is Latin is the anchor of science. Latin introduces us to the vocabulary which we use in science. Actually, it also introduces us to the most amazing literature, along with Greek, that is, but one thing at a time. Latin gives us the way to see how words describe what they're about. So, for example, the summer solstice. We know where that word comes from. It comes from the word for sun, which is sol. Let me see. Engine. Ignition. We get into the car and we turn the ignition on. That comes from ignis, which is the Latin word for fire. We're creating fire. And the symbols of the periodic table. So many of those come from a Latin root. Fe. Iron. There we are. And the names of capitals and countries and cities. Argentina, for example. Any idea what Argentina was famous for when it was discovered? when the conquistadors came over, it was because there were silver mines there. And what's the Latin word for silver? Argentum. And plurals. If you know Latin, you're not going to be confused by plurals. What's the plural of how? If you go to the supermarket and you're going to buy mushrooms, what are you going to do? You're not going to buy a fungus. You're going to buy fungi. You've got a problem. You've got a problem with a cough. You haven't got a bacterium. You've got bacteria. I was going to say and octopus, but that's Greek, and the plural of octopus is because Greek is because the Greek for octopus is a fifth declension noun, so the Greek would be octopodi. You're never going to say octopi again because you would be wrong. The third point, Latin underpins law, government, logic, theology. All those little tags in loco parentis, pro bono. Pro bono. Once you know Latin, you'll never get that one wrong. The referendum. And the plural of referendum? Referenda, but that's a bit pompous. Only Nigel Farage uses that expression. Quid pro quo. Ex nihilo. Creating out of nothing. So number 4, grammar. Latin teaches you the structure of grammar and how to learn new languages. It becomes so much easier. When you are learning Latin, it's like you are multitasking, but you are preparing for so many other subjects. Number 5, it trains the mind. It tells you how to use a system. Everything that we have got today really has come to us through Latin, partly because of the power of the medieval church. But it has come through Latin, and it's not something you can learn suddenly like that. It's something you build on progressively. It teaches you patience, something we need very much. And in a world where we've got mad things like X Factor, which think that a spark of talent is all you need, Latin teaches you that you also need hard work as well. It's the basis of Latin civilization. It's the basis of Western civilization, and it's the basis of good schooling. That is why Latin formed. That's why Latin was so important in the past, and that's why a revival of Latin will see our future secure. There we are. Do follow me and ping the bell, and I'm sure at some point I will sing the praises of Greek. Bye bye.